Hey guys, what's up? What's going on out there today? Hey, it's Brent Abel here at webtennis.com. Another episode of the Tennis Mindset Project. Got a short message for you today. The title is When You Push Through Boring. And really what that means is, I'll never forget this time I was working with the great Tom Stowe, legendary Northern California coach way back in the day. And I just started working with him and I would see him every Wednesday morning for 3 hours up in Napa, California, and it was three other guys, and they were way better than I was. And I was sort of late to the party in terms of getting into this group. They'd already worked on the fundamentals a lot more than I had. And so when I got in there, Mr. Stowe, kind enough to spend more time with me working on the fundamentals. And so this one day after I'd been working with Tom for, I don't know, about a month or so, I kind of said, hey, Tom, when do we get to the advanced stuff? I want to be a better player. And he just kind of looked at me and he just said, well, actually, he looked at the gate to the parking lot out of the court first. And I kind of get this sense, that was maybe something I shouldn't have asked him. And he just said, Mr. Abel, once you master the fundamentals, once you master the boring, guess what? That is the advanced stuff. And the reality is that very few players have the patience to work through the fundamentals and to really get good at them. And a lot of the time when you're doing that, it's just the same old reps over and over and over again. And yeah, it gets boring. But like I just said, a very small, tiny percentage of players actually push through that boring part to where they consistently, now when they play, they can consistently execute the fundamentals. And when you go up against a guy or a gal who is really well trained in the fundamentals and has probably pushed through that boring a lot of different times on the court during practice sessions, that's a tough hombre right there. That's a tough opponent to have to deal with, because the fundamentals mean that you're going to be a consistent shot maker. And if you're a consistent shot maker, what happens is your opponent starts to feel, God dang it, this guy, this gal is not going to miss. So I better start going for something bigger. I better start looking for the exit in the point sooner. And the next thing you know is, because you've pushed through the boring training of getting those fundamentals just completely locked in, is now that opponent over there starts going for shots that they're not consistent with. I don't mind a guy who wants to hit a big time, great looking ESPN 11 p.m. top 10 shots of the day once in a while. I love it. Go for it, because I want them thinking that that's how they have to win points. And look, when I talk about boring and being consistent, a consistent shot maker, I'm definitely not talking about being a pusher, right? And look, and nothing wrong with being a pusher. I mean, it's a strategy that works. And I'll be honest with you, there's a couple of guys in my age group who are spectacular pushers, right? Meaning that their stroke technique doesn't look that great, so it's hard to read what they're about to do. They play a lot of moon balls. They can run like crazy, right? They can run all day long, and their whole mindset is, hey, if I lose today, if you win today, Brent, guess what? You're going to be hating life tomorrow against your opponent tomorrow. And okie doke. So I'm not talking about that. I mean, not that is a strategy that works, gosh darn it. I'm talking about high quality stuff, right? High quality, consistent shot makers that have pushed through. I should say have initially embraced that if I want to become a really consistent shot maker, guess what? I've got to push through all those boring sessions of practicing and just really developing some sound fundamentals. Obviously, you got to know what the fundamentals are first. Secondly, I think you got to work with someone who has been to the skill level that you want to get to. They've been there before and now they're just coaching. As was Mr. Stowe with me, he was much older, no longer playing, but he could still coach, lights out. Or you're getting some help from someone who's currently at that skill level that you want to get to and completely understands this whole thing about pushing through those times, boring, right? In fundamentals. I mean, I've had some matches where things maybe aren't going my way on that particular day for whatever reason. And we know it all happens from time to time. You might have played a great match yesterday and you come out thinking, man, if I can do that yesterday, why can't I do it again today? I don't know. No one knows. But the reality is on some days, the good stuff just doesn't show up, right? And so what I used to do mentally, the big mistake mentally I used to make was, well, look, I got to find a way to really get back to that high skill level because I'm missing enough or I'm making enough unforced errors that this match is close or I'm losing to this guy. As opposed to, wait a minute, let's just go back to square one. Let's hit some high quality, boring cross-court shots safely above the top of the net, safely inside the sideline, and let's just do that all day. Yeah, let's make that guy over there feel the pressure and the need to have to go for looking for the exit a little bit too early in the point, maybe before they get a real fat, juicy offensive opportunity, which you're not giving them, which you're just not giving them. So, all right, guys, hope this has been helpful today. Look, any questions, any comments, any remarks, feedback down below in the comments area, let me know. And if you want to keep the conversation private, we can certainly do that. Brent@webtennis.com. Look, if you have not picked up my free 4-step-by-step between points routine, hence the BPR, you got to get into this because this is a big deal in terms of the reality of matches we play, whether it's a tournament match, whether it's a league match, or just a really competitive practice match. You've got to manage the 80% of that match which is spent not playing points, right? You got to manage the 80% of the time which is is in between points and on side changes. And when you do, when you're really good at that, and this is what works for me, is a very clear, very specific 4-step-by-step between points routine, is you tend to play much more consistently, especially at the top of your current skill level. So if you've not picked up this course, it's a free video. It is private, but it's a free 20-minute video you can get over at webtennis.com. All right. Hope this has been helpful today. Guys, it's time. We got to get out there. We got to help someone else have a spectacular day. Gang, see you guys again next time.